Okay, so I'm going to give you a walkthrough on how to do one of the calculations for the mug brownie. Hold on, copy. A little bit of dry throat on this snowy 2-hour delay morning. Okay, so I'm going to do the calculations for flour below. So if we look here at the flour formula, I'm just going to write it over here so I can have a bigger image. Why won't it let me write? Here we go. The flour formula is C4H8 and then O4. All right, so that is the chemical formula for flour. So I need to figure out how many tablespoons of flour, and that's what I need to do. And so what am I given, right, in my recipe? So in my recipe, I think I'm going to have to switch screens, I think. In my recipe calls for, I'll just write it over here. So my recipe calls for 0.3 moles of flour. And this is my recipe. I need to end up in tablespoons of flour because obviously if you're at home, you don't have a way to measure moles. And I can't guarantee that you have something to measure the mass of flour either because not everyone has a kitchen scale at home. But most people do have a way to measure tablespoons. So I first need to, so basically I'm converting from moles of flour to tablespoons of flour. And how am I going to do that? So I can convert, I know that 1 mole of my formula is equal to the gram formula mass. So 1 mole of flour is equal to the mass of C4H8O4. And so I do have my periodic table, and I can calculate this gram formula mass. So this is a great review of how to calculate the gram formula mass. Okay, so to calculate the gram formula mass, I have 4 carbons. Each carbon has a mass of 12. Now I'm going to add my 8 hydrogens. Each hydrogen has a mass of 1 from the periodic table. And then I'm going to add my 4 oxygens, each oxygen with a mass of 16. So when I multiply 4 times 12, 8 times 1, and 4 times 16, and I add all of those up together, I'm going to get a mass of 120 grams. And that's 120 grams per mole. That means 1 mole of flour has a mass of 120 grams. So now I know I need 0.3 moles of flour. So I know I'm going to need less than 120 grams. So I'm going to set this up with my dimensional analysis, which is always writing down what I'm given, 0.3 moles of flour. And I always include the units because I'm going to let it's called a dimensional analysis because the units are the dimensions that are going to guide this question. And now I need to convert this moles to grams. So then I'm going to, sorry for my crooked line there. So I know that I want to get rid of moles, so that goes down to the bottom, right? So what I seek over what I know, right? And I know that 1 mole, and I want to seek, right? I want to seek grams, is 120 grams of flour. So I'll just write FLOUR, moles of FLOUR. Sorry, I'm writing downhill. Okay, maybe if I switch myself up and more head on. Okay, so now if I stopped here, this is how many grams of flour. And you can do this, you can calculate this, and then take that calculation into another question, or you just set up another conversion factor. And now I want to get rid of the grams of flour, so move that down here. So grams of flour. And now I know that 8.87 grams of flour is equal to 1 tablespoon per tablespoon, right? Slash TBSP means 1 tablespoon is 8.87 grams. So then I can do TBSP, right? So this is a conversion factor right here, right? This is my conversion factor from mass to tablespoon. This is my conversion factor from moles to grams, right? This is how I get from moles to grams, and this is how I get from grams to tablespoons. And so now I know that 1 tablespoon, right, because it's per tablespoon, is equal to 8.87 grams. So now how do I do this math-wise? Right, everything across the numerator is multiplied. So 0.3 times 120. So that, I did this ahead. 0.3 times 120 is equal to 36. And now I multiply my denominators. And so all I have is 1 times 8.87. So times 8.87. And so I do 36 divided by 8.87. And that comes out to be like 4.05 or something. So you're just going to round that to the nearest whole number because we're working in tablespoons in the kitchen. So you need 4 tablespoons of flour. Okay, you're going to do the same thing, but now you're just going to do the other ingredients on your own, right? You're going to do sugar and cocoa, oil, water. Here's all of the gram formula masses, right? So your gram formula masses all are going to go towards the first conversion factor. You're always going to start off with your given, right? So this is what you're given. And then your second conversion factor is going to come from how many grams per tablespoon. And then you mix them all up, play around in the microwave, and try to optimize it because all microwaves are a little bit different. All right, so if you need help, send me a Google Hangout, watch this video again. I'm happy to help, and good luck making your brownies, and I hope you enjoy them. Bye.